Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Alex here with Freedom Mowers. Today we're going to be working on part 3 and hopefully the final installment of the Dyt4000. Been a little bit busy trying to get this machine cleaned up and working on some other projects at the same time. I just got the fuel pump in for it, so we should be able to go ahead and get that into place. And then after that we can move on to finishing up the mower deck, and I'm waiting on the belt to come in for that because it was a specific size. I believe this was 3/8 by 97. I'll have to double check, but I got the part number right off from underneath of the hood, and that's the one I ordered for this. So I will show you guys a little bit. I just kind of polished it up, and I did get the tank in place and ran the new fuel line, which we're going to test out and make sure that the grommet is going to hold and we're not going to have any leaks from the tank. And it just routed right underneath of the deck right here, came up underneath of the center console, and then comes out this grommet right here. And then I put a new fuel filter on the end, and then we'll just be routing the new fuel line to the pump, the vacuum line, and then the new line to the carburetor. And let's see what else have we got going on. Just kind of went and repainted the valve cover here. I was trying not to because I don't really like painting most of the time, you know, like plastic pieces on the mowers. Or I try to paint as least as possible unless it really needs it. And I tried the heat gun, I tried a couple other things, and I could not get the color to come back, but it turned out pretty good. So I will go ahead and get everything ready for the fuel pump, and we'll show putting that on, and we'll try to get this fired up. Alright, well, here is the new fuel pump, and had to take a quick look at a diagram on this. Couldn't remember if they were all the same or not, but the way that this one is set up, it should be that this one that protrudes outward, that has the two posts close to each other, this should be your vacuum. This one right here should be from your tank, and then this one that's over here by itself, this should be the one that feeds the carburetor. And I don't have the original mount that goes on here, so I ended up I'm going to take a piece of strapping and I'm going to get that set up, and I believe I'm just going to end up probably zip tying the pump onto it. I don't really like doing it that way, but I don't have a mount for it, and for this it shouldn't really much matter as long as it's mounted out of the way and it's not going to be hitting anything. And we should be pretty set. The fuel lines should keep it pretty secure as well with the zip tie, so I think it'll be a good little fix on that. So I'll get this in place and I'll show you guys how I got it set up. Okay, so I've got it, might be a little bit hard for y'all to see, but I've got the little mounting tab on there that I made up, and I've got the lines ran like I had shown you. This is the supply line going in, it's hooked up, and then we've got our vacuum line, which is teed off from the oil dipstick, and then our other line is going to connect to the carburetor. But what I want to do first is get this turning over and see if we got the fuel pumping up to the carburetor. And I've put a little bit of gas in the tank, and I just checked the grommet underneath to see if it was leaking, and everything looks good there. So what I want to do is I'm going to pull the spark plug out, and that way when I turn the motor over to prime up the pump, it's not putting as much strain on that starter trying to turn the motor over so many times. So I'll get that popped out, and then we will get this cranking over, see if we can get some gas to start priming through the line, and then we'll get it hooked up to the carb. Alright, well, we should be ready to start priming. I got the plug out. Everything is hooked up here, and we should start to see some fuel fill up the filter and get a little drip out of here. As soon as we do, I'll go ahead and hook that up to the carb. Get the brakes set. Oh yeah, that's plenty of fuel there. All right, let's go ahead and hook this right up. All right, well, I just had to finish putting the plug back in, and we should be good. It primed up really quick. Fuel filter's full. We should have gas pretty much in the line. It might take a few cranks to fill up the carburetor bowl, and then it should fire up. Sounds good. Sounds real good. I think I still got a few adjustments on this carb. That's awesome. See if I can't get it fired back up and let it run for a minute, see if I can't dial this thing in. Alright, made a couple little adjustments, but it sounds pretty good now. May need a couple little tweaks, but it sounds good. Fuel pump's working, no leaks. Should be in pretty good order now. I'll fire it up, and maybe we can take it for a little spin real quick. Burning off a little bit of that oil from when I did the valve adjustment on it. Still sounds like it needs a little bit more adjustment on the carb, but overall it's driving good. Alright guys, well, I'm super stoked. Seems like the machine's running pretty well. Couple little tweaks, just got to make sure. I want to recheck that plug too, the gap on it, and see if that might help us out a little bit with it running. But other than that, I mean, it looks good. Fuel pump's installed, no leaks, tank's clean. Seems like we got a solid motor, and we've got a decent deck for this thing too. I am just gonna be kind of wiping this down, and I'll get this prepped, and I'm just gonna touch up some spots on it with some gloss black and get this looking good. I went ahead and transferred over the deck tensioner, which was really easy to do. It just, I don't know if this is the original hardware or not. There's like a little key ring on it, but you just have that, 2 washers, and then you just have the cotter pin on here, and I just swapped it over real easy, and yeah, should be pretty good there. I'll get this wiped down, we'll get some paint on it, and I'll show you guys what that looks like, and then we'll just be waiting on the deck belt. All right, well, it is a few days later, and I've just had a ton of stuff going on. Some new projects I picked up, and just life. But I've got the deck painted up. I didn't go too crazy on it, if you guys can see. But I did put a coat of black on there to keep the rust down, and cleaned it up the best I could. And everything should be good. I've got the belt in for it, so I'm gonna get that out and get it routed on here. And I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna be able to just slip it over the PTO, or if I'm gonna have to take it off from the tensioner, get it over the PTO, and then put it back on the tensioner on this particular one. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the belt out and get that routed and try to get it on the mower, and I'll show you guys what I end up having to do with it to get it down there and see what's the best route. Oh, and before I put this on, I just wanted to show you guys the correct way of routing this belt. So this will just be on the PTO, just go around the back, make sure that the belt is on the inside of the retainers, and you just got to deal with the blade brake. I couldn't get that cover off, but I was able to slip it underneath, and then around the back, and then on the other side of these guides too, and that's it. So let me get this on there. Okay, well, the deck belt is on. It's just reverse order of how we had taken it off. If you guys check out the playlist on this where we removed it, pretty simple on here. And I was able to leave the belt on the deck just as I had it, and I got it started on the PTO and was able to twist it and work the belt on there, and it feels like it's got pretty good tension. So I think we are all set. We can get a little bit of gas in the machine and let's fire it up, see if we can't get this deck to work. All right, so we're gonna be giving it a cold start, and I'll probably try to engage the deck a couple times quickly just to make sure we're not burning up the belt or anything crazy going on, and then we'll test it out. Well, sounds good so far. think I'm still running into carb issues with this, but worst case, I'll just end up buying a new carburetor for it. Yeah, you guys heard it try to stall out there. I think it was just kind of getting everything in place, freeing up the spindles, getting the belt properly engaged. Belt looks good though. I think that carb needs a little bit of work, but you guys can hear it. It's running a lot better and a lot smoother. So take this thing out and I'll make a couple little passes with it, and I think we'll pretty much be done with the tractor, and then we'll talk about it at the end, what I've got invested in it, and we'll wrap it up. Alright guys, well, I had actually forgot that I needed to have the battery hooked up in order to get the PTO, the electric PTO to work on this, even when the engine's operating. So, obviously you guys are seeing it moving around. Everything looks good on it, deck's engaging just fine, and I'm gonna see about possibly just ordering a new carb for this. I'm kind of tired of fiddling with it. And that's about it, I think. Wraps it up. I mean, you guys saw, I might play a video of a before quick clip. And what you guys see now, but all cleaned up. Deck's on there. Motor seems to be running good. The new starter. So let's just go over really quickly what I had invested. This mower pretty much came to me for free with that other big mower haul that I did a long time ago. And so far we have the starter, which was about $30. We have a drive belt that was about $15. We have another, we have the deck belt that was another $15. We have, what else is on here? Is it just the two belts and the starter? I believe that's it. And then we're gonna have a battery and just the time invested and everything here. I was trying to think, I thought there was one other thing. Oh yeah, we had the fuel pump on here as well, which was, I think, around $15. And then I just had some fuel hose and stuff like that that was on hand. But overall, I think we'll have you know, $120 in this machine, and hoping to get a decent amount for it. Nothing crazy, but I gotta see in the springtime what mowers are going for, and we can kind of take it from there. But let me know what you guys think. Probably do a little bit more cleanup, a little touch up with paint and stuff here and there before spring gets here, but I would say the majority of all the work is done, and we got us a good tractor. So I appreciate you guys following along. I know this was kind of a long series on this, and just figuring out what was going on with this machine, but went from sitting at least a year or two out in the field to up and running again and looking pretty decent. So thank you guys, new subscribers and new people checking out the channel. If you guys do like this kind of content, make sure to hit that thumbs up and the bell drop down. That way you guys know anytime I upload. And all of you that have been along for the ride, I greatly appreciate it. And hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. All right, thanks.